All right, here we go again. So I'm going to go into the prayers, and actually was wanting to go into before, but went with the other thing. But the idea is this: we have to deport people when that window of application for amnesty is up. Because what I foresee happening is, and I might be wrong, but people that were here 10 years after they were deportable, they're going to say, look, if you deported me when I was 25 instead of after I built my life at 35, I could understand that. So they're going to find that the government kind of set them up. And some people even like 20 years. Some they've been here 20 years or whatever since something happened, like Subraham or whatever his name is. Now they'll say, well, he was in jail, we couldn't deport him, but the court's probably going to side with people like that. But that's a stronger case to say people need to be, because we don't want them to build their life and then have it, ripped away from them in 15 years or 10 years. Right? They're not here legally. That they signed a contract with the government when they came here, that this is the process, and if you don't make it, then you're gone. Right. Well, there's no way to start legal immigration until we end that part. Because once we get that under control, then we can start the visa program again. And then they have a visa, like normal, bring back normalcy. Well, what's happening is under the cover of those programs and those illegal communities, this is where the narcos flourish. This is where the sex trafficking flourishes. Right. And it isn't just because I'll say, well, because they're like, if you made it legal, you can't make all immigration legal. It just doesn't work. If you open up the border between Mexico and the United States, what do you think would happen? Every sleazeball, sex trafficker, and narcotics distributor would be on that border and driving that route every day. Somebody come across, next thing you know, they'd be in prostitution somewhere. No, there are organized crime and racketeering entities in all these communities, but nobody's going to talk about it. Again, some of the cops are paid off to enforce it. So this is the way it works. A Spanish group of people, let's say they come in from Latin America and they're immigrants. Legal or illegal, doesn't matter. They settle in a Spanish community. They run off a drug dealer off their block. Get out of here. You don't need your kind around here. No dealing drugs here. South Philly or something. Right. They go to Walmart, cop follows them in. Then when they're in Walmart security starts following them. Some lady named Diaz in Kansas. Names have been changed to protect the guilty. Right. Then the drug dealer shows up in the Walmart and talks to security or talks to the cop or just kind of stands there and looks at him. Right? And they pay the cop. The cop's already on the payroll. No, it's happening. They don't. The scam is, I arrested one, therefore I arrest them all. And I'm not telling you to arrest them all, but it's just a scam. Right? Law enforcement at this point is just a way to cover the corruption. But they'll make a reason for everybody to want that corruption, like Trump, you're a pedophile. Biden, you're a pedophile. Because the strongest extortion, the strongest strong arming that a criminal organization can engage in is investigating somebody for a sex crime or a cold case or something like that. That's what they're doing with it. That's why the Gilgo Beach thing was never solved. They were using it for criminal enterprise and corruption. But it wasn't the cop. Like, he was the fall guy. So part of their organization is, who do we point at? Well, they sexualized that New York City cop who was the chief at the time. He probably his life was so upside down he couldn't figure nothing out. Right. And that's the way they do it. Right. But long story short, you still got to follow through with legalizing immigration and getting the undocumented people out of here. Right. Again, I was treated like that. You go, well, look at the way you're talking to us. Of course, we're going to treat you like that. Bullshit. So when the immigrants were coming against me, I was saying DACA, DACA, DACA. Now, I said that the DACA program needed to have some documentation. You can't just say, oh, I came here and I'm here and I get it. Right. You have to give us a little bit more facts than what they're allowed. Who brought you here? How did you get here? If you know. Right. Essentially, part of it is the idea that if you come clean about how you got here, we're not necessarily going to charge somebody, but our intelligence increases. Again, it was timely, right, back then. Right. And then we can make sure that children are not being brought about across the border without their consent, I guess, quote unquote, because it's a form of child abuse. If your parents brought you across the border corruptly, then it's a form of child abuse. They engaged in a crime with you. And again, of course, it would be a crime to bring a child across the border. It's child abuse. Right. Yeah. Well, I understand that there's trouble in these other countries, but the system is built not to fix those problems. The illegal immigration system keeps those problems going. Right. Let's invest in this illegal immigration thing and letting these narcos in and not fix the other country. Right. I mean, look at Mexico. I mean, that's horrible. Where's her security? What are they running? Right. Guy groped the president. Some drunk dude. I mean, how are they going to keep anything safe? Right. I mean, she's not living in the real world. They're not living in the real world, man. I guarantee, granted, security can be an illusion, and that's how people stay safe. Like you believe it exists. All right. But that's a little bit too far. Actually, I might not get prayers yet. I'm sorry, cleaning my floor. They're willing my prayers down, so I'm letting Hashem's reading it. See how many people will do it. They're getting off on it. This is what they do. All the freakos are on these watch things. They sit on going, he's not praying. Right. But again, Hashem's reading it, reading the networks. So Malaysia might have an earthquake and kill like 10 people. This is like arresting the dope dealers that aren't the millionaires. Right? Nah, come on. Look what's going on. The key to being a successful drug dealer is to actually be very wealthy and live in a nice neighborhood and pay everybody. Right. Can't find my, I put it over here. Change the location of my dustpan and broom. I guess they call these lobby rooms or something. Right. No, the key to it, and again, if you know anything about the planet, and if you can see the key to everything, I mean, when it's corrupt, it's the key to nothing. I mean, you'll make money, but it's not the key to really anything. Well, because what you're assuming is that because we have technology, we have all that, but I've seen technology fall off the deep end since it went as corrupt as it is. Since 2014, they really, I mean, you're doing this AI thing, but again, you may have already figured out AI and a power source. In other words, you think you're moving ahead, but you're falling behind with the corruption, because without the corruption, you would have gotten forward a lot more. My mind probably would have picked up and told you a couple more ideas also. It's an illusion. I can see all the products that they're not being designed in the right way. Sometimes I wonder if it's physical, spycraft saying, well, we don't want to design it at that level for the people, because you're just rotten type of people. But all right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this and then start with the prayers.